And a good Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday afternoon to you. It's July 27th. Welcome on into Daily Cards here on ClaibsOnline.com, presented by Mungenast St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey. Rammer, the trade talks are heating up all around baseball, but the Cardinals seem to be a team that's not really in the mix for that. So I guess we just focus on the Cardinals versus the future Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah, it doesn't appear that the Cardinals are going to make any move that we would call significant. Certainly anything with, I say certainly, but it doesn't appear that there'll be a marquee value kind of move. I think the Cardinals are going to say we're going to, as we get our pitching back over the next month, let's say, maybe 5 weeks, see if that can make a difference. If the offense heats up, if the offensive trends continue to uptick, maybe it balances out, missing 3 of your key pitchers, those kinds of things. But it doesn't look like the Cardinals are going to go get a bat that can jump into the lineup, or even a bat that can be starting 2-3 days a week and being a solid threat off the bench. That doesn't appear to be the case. And it doesn't appear that the Cardinals are going to go out and get somebody who is an obvious candidate to jump right into the starting rotation and give the Cardinals a chance to make a run here. I hope I'm wrong, but I kind of see what the Cardinals are kind of saying uncle without saying uncle.
Yeah, it's going to be, I guess, a frustrating week as you sit and you watch all these other teams make their moves, and the Cardinals will sit and not do anything. But it should be noted that Jack Flaherty is making a start for Memphis today. So he is on his way back, you hope, as he's making rehab starts right now for the AAA affiliate.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about with Flaherty and Michaelis, 2 of your starting rotation, presumptively. And I realize Michaelis, I had less hope for him in the offseason that he would be able to contribute this year. The little bit he's pitched, wherever it's been in the big leagues or at AAA, it looks like the guy, if he can be healthy enough, can contribute. And then you talk about Jordan Hicks, who's maybe a little more of a long shot, maybe late August, early September. But here was the guy that was going to be your closer. So it's like I've been saying for a while. You take any team, you take out your closer, your ace, and say your number 3 starter. Any of those teams, I mean any of them, are going to struggle to be good. And so the Cardinals, in a weird way, I want to emphasize weird way, have overachieved. Can they make a run in August if the offense continues to climb? Possible, but I just don't know how good the offense can get as it stands now.
We talked yesterday at length about the Cardinals changing up their lineup, possibly moving Harrison Bader up in the lineup to take advantage of the hot streak that he's on right now. It is a 2-game series against a 3-game series against Cleveland this week, as then the Cardinals are back home on Friday. Cal Quantrill is on the mound for Cleveland today. The Cardinals will send Adam Wainwright onto the bump, 7-6 with a 3.56 ERA. Before we get to there, Rammer, I don't know if you saw the quote or the tweet from Adam Wainwright earlier this week that he wants to be a part of the 2024 Olympic baseball team for Team USA. Said He doesn't care what role it's in. He wants to compete in some form for a gold medal. You think he could still pitch in 3 years?
Well,
at the Olympic level.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. What level is that? Is that AAA? Is it in between AA and AAA? And are you striking out a bunch of Croatians? No offense to our friends from Croatia.
Claims Online does great numbers in Croatia.
That's right. That's why I wanted to be sure and say no offense. I'm just saying that the experience level and the competition you're facing. Now, certainly if you're facing Latin American countries and some others, Australia and a few others that are playing ball, Japan, obviously, that's going to be good competition. But is it going to be big league competition up and down the lineup? Some Dominican, Puerto Rico, Cuba. Yeah. So, but if the guy's healthy and he doesn't sit around for a couple of years, which doesn't appear to be the Adam Wainwright style, by the way, I think it's a great goal. I don't have a problem with it at all. And what a leader, by the way.
Right. So we start with Adam Wainwright, and it feels like it was such a setback in Cincinnati last weekend. We had the off day yesterday, but they played so well against the Giants and Cubs, and then you only take 1 out of 3 in Cincinnati. It does feel like all the momentum that started the second half of the year it instantly went away, and it was just the case of losing one of those 3 games. Because if you take 2 out of 3 from Cincy, you're looking at this and you're going, okay, hey, this team's still going, this team's starting off again, 3 series now. But just that it's so weird that to lose 2 out of 3 instead of winning 2 out of 3 just gives us such a different feel.
Yeah, it really does. And that's where you are, for guys like us in the media, the mediocre teams are the ones that give you the most fodder. And whether you're a radio, TV, podcasting, gives you the best numbers because there are so many more things to talk about. You're almost good and you're almost bad. Who is this team? Who's performing? Who's not? It really is great fodder for guys like us. But as you know, I identify as a manager. So for me, I'm just trying to find a way to win every night.
So the Cardinals started. It is a 2-game series, by the way, Tuesday and Wednesday, and then off again on Thursday. Do you see any moves?
Probably why
on either
Oviedo got sent down, right?
Yeah, Oviedo gets sent down. Lane Thomas will be moved up, which I look at that move and I scratch my head just a bit because of how good this outfield has been. I guess you are adding the DH for these 2 games, so it does give you the opportunity to have another bat. But we've talked about this. Anytime the Cardinals have had an opportunity to use a DH this year, it usually ends up being a case where Matt Carpenter finds his way into the infield and you give one of those guys a day off.
Well, what would you do?
I feel like that's with a righty on the mound like you're having today. That's exactly what I would do. I would go with Matt Carpenter.
So you didn't want Oviedo sent out?
No, it wasn't so much that.
I'm saying, what would you have done?
My thing is, I saw the numbers. I saw the numbers from this after this weekend. When the team has O'Neill, Bader, and Carlson starting for them, it's either 17-10 or 16-10, whatever one record you 17. Look at. So if you're bringing Lane Thomas up, are you bringing Lane Thomas up to start? Are you bringing him up because why mess with the outfield that you have right now? That's kind of my question about it.
You have when you're out running, you're thinking way too much. I know that you're running for 45 minutes an hour at a time, but you've just got to ease up, way overthinking. You got a roster to fill. You got to have a guy. You got to have people on your roster, even if they stink.
So you're telling me he's just up here as another man. He's just a guy.
Well, I'm going the Socratic method. I'm gonna turn it around. What would you do? Just play your 9 guys and don't have anybody on the bench, and go with 15 pitchers? What are you saying? This is when you think it through.
Keep adding pitchers. I mean, one of them's got to be able to throw strikes.
What are the alternatives? Why did we do it?
Okay, I guess you're doing maybe he's. I haven't looked at his numbers down in Memphis. Maybe it's a reward for playing well down in Memphis. Maybe that's the case. I don't want them to mess with the success of Bader, Carlson, and O'Neill as your 3 outfielders.
I'm surprised you look at that as a threat for that. That actually surprises me quite a bit.
I don't think it should be a threat. I worry that they mess with that. That's just my worry. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking a 2-game series against a team that might be trading some players this week.
I think you're worrying too much, and and guys do need days off, and that doesn't mean that if a guy gets a day. I mean, so you're 17-10. I know you're not saying play these 8 until they die. That doesn't make sense either. You got to give guys some days off as well. And strategically doing that is why you have to have a manager like me.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, we'll revisit this tomorrow then on the show, and we'll see just where things stand when that lineup comes out at some point. Rammer, a quick word from our friends at Royal Banks before we talk hats.
Of course, Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking. Easy to get on board, to find a great banker from Royal to help you achieve your financial goals, big or small. 314-212-1500, or of course, go online to royalbanksofmo.com. Royal Banks, where better service means better banking. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
I thought for a second that you doubled up on hats before I did as we've started going live here, but you corrected me before we started here and told me I'm wrong, that is a new hat that you're showing off for the first time.
Yeah, this lid was mid-aughts. I was very fortunate being able to cover spring training for 20 straight years. This is one of the last seasons, I believe, that I was able to cover. 04, 05, 06, somewhere in there. And so this is a Cardinal lid from the clubhouse official game wear. And so I busted it out for you today.
I'm going with
Mr. Backwards hat.
I went River City Rascals today.
Oh, nice.
I got this hat, Rammer. I somehow talked my way into playing in their Legends game in 2017 and 2018. In 2017, it was a celebrity baseball game. And then I think they realized that members of the media that they invited should not be facing former major league pitchers. Even though I did get a hit off of Brad Thompson in that baseball game.
Come on.
And he struck me out the next time. I pissed him off, Brad. I think, by getting a hit off of him. That the next time up, I feel like he hit 90 on the gun the second time and mixed in a curveball there too. But this was from the second year. They changed it to a softball game, which was headlined by Mark Mulder and David Eckstein, and Vince Coleman were some of the headline players.
How fun is that? In
that game. And after the game was over, after the game was over, Aaron Miles came up to me and complimented my swing. So there you go. That's me bragging about myself and patting myself on the back for that. And now the Rascals no longer exist, so I need to find somebody else to talk my way into celebrity games.
Yeah, that's good, though. That's a good story. That's a lot of fun and a good keepsake. I like it.
Rammer, we will be back tomorrow to wrap up the 2-game series. And also tomorrow, you and Keith Costas will record the return of the Keith Costas podcast right here on ClaibsOnline.com. Lots of baseball news and notes, as Keith was at the All-Star game as well and took last week off to recover from that. And you guys will have a lot of second half stuff to get to tomorrow here on ClaibsOnline.com. He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. We will talk to you tomorrow here on Daily Cards Live, presented by Mungenast St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri here on ClaibsOnline.com.
St. Louis Acura has an unbeatable selection of new cars, like the new TLX with $2,500 in loyalty conquest offers and 0.9% financing for up to 60 months. We have all new 22 MDXs with 1.9% financing for up to 60 months, or get a great deal on a new lease. You can get the 21 Acura ILX as low as $239 per month for 36 months, or the new 21 Acura RDX for as little as $399 per month for 36 months. St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.